Okay. I'm in a different state of mind today than I've been in a long time. I run counter to the currents. I swim against the tides. I give props to the turtles. Right? Yeah. I was in my old stomping grounds in Central Park and Riverside Park and some other parks in New York City, and yeah, just blissing out, really hanging out with friends and animals and all that good stuff. Outdoor free music. If you don't know, you just don't know. Okay, so I made some notes. Let's see if I can not ramble too much. Um, so the theme is bridge TitanX to Pulsechain now. Access turtle magic. Ignore the turtle magic, though it's part of the magic of the internet and crypto friends and decentralized finance. So I put a photograph out that was a photograph of turtles in Central Park. And one of my internet friends says something like, don't tell me they're free and alive there, which I think he meant, I can't believe that you have turtles in Central Park in New York City. And I'm like, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. We have crazy animal diversity all over New York City. It's coastal, right? And the animals in urban areas are designed to thrive with humans, right? And so there is a symbiotic coexistence. Yeah. And so, okay. So anyway, I put the turtle out there, and Dirty Crypto, props to you. A great PDI and Pulsechain investigator and chronicler of the mysteries of Pulsechain and the mysteries of PDI and the speculative insights that this stream is about. So why this is a message to TitanX. It's a message to TitanX holders, and it's not just TitanX holders. It's any build on TitanX asset that needs speculative juice and utility. And I think this applies to almost every single build on TitanX protocol and asset, because all of them need less supply and less sellers on Ethereum. And that's what happens when we bridge over to Pulsechain. We don't lose our tokens. And now with Liberty Swap Finance, which I'll talk about in a little bit, it's one of the reasons to bridge over. It's part of the speculative zeal that's going on. So for TitanX people, it's really about scarcity on Ethereum plus leverage in this bull cycle, getting exposure to Pulsechain through pairing on Pulsechain with Pulsechain core tokens as well as Atropa core tokens, and any other tokens that anyone thinks are going to do well in this altcoin rally, which we're right in the midst of. Pulsechain is dumping, and that community, which is a amalgam of many different smaller communities, is totally traumatized by number go down. Right? If you pay attention to Pulsechain and to what people are thinking and feeling, they're like brutalized, not defeated, but brutalized and uncertain about the future. Except for the ones who are studying Richard Hart, his wallets, his behavior, his communication style. Except for the people like me who are studying the SEC battle and see that there finally is legal certainty. And except for the people like whoever Liberty Swap Finance is, and I would say go read the documents. Go find Liberty Swap Finance. Don't connect the wallet. Don't use their bridge until I understand. Right? I used it. I used it yesterday and I used it today. So for TitanX people, if I'm a TitanX holder and if I'm a build on TitanX asset holder, which I am, and I'm totally happy with my assets on Ethereum, do nothing. If I'm looking for exposure to Pulsechain and I want utility on Pulsechain, I would say it's time to wake up, TitanX. It's time to wake up assets, bridge them over, let them sit, choose LPs, and LPs, liquidity pairs, are pairs that we love. You only jump into an LP pair, a V2 LP pool on PulseDex, if we love both coins. So that's why, for example, I've bridged over Lotus, which I felt like I needed a new life for. I needed energy. I needed economic energy. So I bridged over Lotus and paired it with Eros. And that pair now is doing really well, right? And it will continue to do really well. And now with my Lotus, I get exposure to my Eros, which is a PTGC clone. And the idea with Eros, let's keep it really simple. I still have my airdrops. Pennyboy Crypto, shout out to you. One of your responses to one of my tweets about Eros was, I'm still holding mine, right? Which I like. So the other shout out to TitanX holders, if I, which I am, was a holder I think the airdrop for Eros came last February. So if I was a liquid TitanX holder, I received an airdrop. Okay. And the idea is, unless I really need cash, I'm still holding my Eros. And I'm buying more personally, but for other people that just want to hold Eros and stake and lock Eros and make passive income while buy and burn is working to deplete the supply, do that. But for me, there's no reason to sell Eros, especially because we're building a diamond hand top holder group that has no interest in selling, that's interested in holding this coin and pairing it with our TitanX assets and pairing it with the Pulsechain assets that we believe in, like PDI, like Bear, like PulseX, like UFO, right? So, okay, I made some notes. Let me get a few more points in here. Okay, so Liberty Swap Finance. Like, who is that? Well, it is a multi-chain bridging protocol that has shown up. It's been around on X for the last few weeks. And Richard Hart last week in one of his tweets asked the question, what do you think? What do you think of Liberty Swap Finance? Question mark. And then provided a link. Now, anybody that knows Richard Hart knows that he doesn't easily shout out other people's projects. And I'm not saying that Liberty Swap Finance is Richard Hart's project, but I am saying that there is a connection. And at the very least, he's definitely checked them out before he'd be willing to promote it like that. So it's either that Liberty Swap Finance is directly or indirectly connected with Richard Hart. That's another reason to bridge to Pulsechain now. It's the biggest reason. Speculation. Like anybody that was around in the last bull cycle remembers what happened to Hex. I remember what happened to Hex. Hex ruled DeFi summer. The first DeFi summer, Hex ruled. When Uniswap first launched. And so the speculation around Liberty Swap Finance is that there's some connection with Richard Hart. There's more speculation. There's billions of dollars of original miner BTC from 2011, right? A ton of Bitcoin have been moved. And now there's more speculation. People are following the wallets, and definitely people are hoping that this is Richard Hart. The speculation among some is that it is Richard Hart. I have no idea, right? I have no idea, but it's speculative. And now that legal certainty has come to Pulsechain, I speculated weeks ago that capital was going to start flowing in, big capital. So the biggest reason to bridge TitanX and TitanX assets to Pulsechain is speculative zeal that's going on Pulsechain. There's no other narrative in decentralized finance right now that can even compare with the question about, is that Bitcoin Richard Hart? It's not Roger Ver. Everybody said it was, but he wasn't a miner. And these are miner wallets. So says the speculation, right? Okay. Any other speculation? Richard Hart, big money moving in, Liberty Swap Finance. There's another Aave V3 fork coming to Pulsechain. It's called Better Bank. Check it out. Read the documents. Follow them. Again, I have no idea who these teams are. They're public, but anon, like a lot of what's going on. In some ways, some of the best decentralized finance is led by anon teams. Look at Ouroboros. Look at Super Shadowy on Ethereum. Look at what Ouroboros and Super Shadowy have been able to do with ORX and USDX, fully anon and in full communication, right? So, so there's a lot happening on Pulsechain, and I want access to it. And what we've been doing over the last 10 weeks is raising awareness about Eros, raising awareness about the Eros plan, which is basic. It's bridge TitanX assets, pair with strength among TitanX with Pulsechain assets in an organic LP web around the Eros token, which is a protocol. It's a fork of PTGC. It's a fork of the Grays currency. So the biggest reason to bridge TitanX to Pulsechain is speculation and the exponential bull run that, in my mind, is coming to Pulsechain, and the fact that even whales, not even whales, especially whales, are still getting shaken out. For all we know, there's other speculation that Richard Hart is dumping to shake people out. I have no idea. I can't imagine dumping like that, but I'm no billionaire, right? I'm no OG in the space. I'm just me. And I'm an artist. I carve wood, man. That's like my claim to infamy. Okay, so the other reason to bridge is utility. And this is no disrespect to any of the build on TitanX assets. I hold them. They're cap supply. Some are deflationary. And they need more utility. Utility for me is either revenue sharing or fee sharing or some access to yield. That's just me. While I'm holding, I want yield. I want passive income. So there's three pieces of utility that that build on TitanX tokens can get by bridging on to Pulsechain. First is pair with other TitanX or Pulsechain assets and just hold in LP and generate fees, right? Generate fees in the tokens that we love. And my recommendation is only go into LP with 2 tokens I love or you love and are willing to hold, so we don't worry about impermanent loss. It's all about holding in the LP and not trading. Another way to get access to utility with TitanX, build on TitanX tokens that really don't have, other than ORX and the reflection tokens, which are the fee sharing tokens, like Eros, and there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of reflection tokens, fee sharing tokens, or tax tokens, but not really on Pulsechain. The way to get access to fee sharing with TitanX tokens on Pulsechain is to buy Eros. So for me, I'm bridging over TitanX assets, and with 10% or 15% of my assets, I'm buying Eros. And then I'm pairing my Eros with the token that I just bridged over, right? And so my TitanX tokens now get access, get exposure to Pulsechain, leverage on leverage, and get exposure to Eros, which is the tip of the sword, leverage on leverage on leverage, right? And it's a fee sharing token. So when I hold it in LP with my TitanX, I generate LP fees, right? And just by holding it. Or if I don't want to be an LP, I can buy Eros and stake it and lock it and make more Eros, just like the Grace currency. Same thing, other than the 5%. 2% goes to the buy and burn, which is a lot. 1% goes to the Pulse Eros LP that's locked, and that's good. And 2% goes to stakers and lockers, right? And so, three key reasons to bridge. First, speculation, exposure to the bull run on Pulsechain. Only do it if I believe. Two, utility. For me and for anyone else that cares about fee sharing, that cares about true decentralized finance, right? Where I'm not reliant on a builder or a dev who's got admin keys. I don't worry about that when I'm on Pulsechain. And I have self custody. And I'm only interacting with protocols that are fully automated, fully permissionless, no admin keys. And that speaks to the third reason to bridge TitanX to Pulsechain. It's freedom. I'm free to do it. Anyone's free to do it. If we have a little gas and a little fee to pay the bridge, like the Pulsechain bridge, or now after I have done the research, Liberty Swap Finance. I've done it twice now. It works. It worked for me. And I would say do the research. It took like, I don't know, a minute, right? And all I was doing was doing USDC from Ethereum and swapped it into USDC on Pulsechain, and it showed up in my wallet 2 minutes later. And what did I do? I bought some PDI. I bought some Bear. And later I'll pair them with my Eros in LP. Right? So I'm free to do it. And increasingly, Pulsechain is going to be, compared to almost every other layer one, the freedom chain. There are going to be privacy solutions, and Liberty Swap Finance is now talking about privacy solutions. And Richard Hart has talked about privacy solutions. And now that Pulsechain and PulseX and Hex and Richard Hart are have regulatory certainty, have legal certainty, it's huge. And any privacy solution that's built on that will extend the freedom that exists in a decentralized layer one. There are almost 50,000 nodes globally. Very hard to shut down. It's got 100% uptime versus everyone like I props to you, Ivan on tech, old friend, right? You know, he's promoting Solana, which is fine. It's fine to promote whatever we like. And I know a lot of people who are holding Solana that like Solana. It's just not my flavor, right? It's just not what I like. I like a true decentralized network with 100% uptime, right? I don't like VCs that can dump on my head. A reason to bridge TitanX coins to Pulsechain is demand. Yes. If there's a massive Pulse bull market, they can buy TitanX coins directly on Pulsechain. We are making ERC to PRC for their access. And Richard Hart and Maria are taking PDI to the east side to do the same. Okay. So Mr. Eros plan is saying, let me read it again. He's reminding me. This is like my second brain. I'm a flat brain. He says, another reason to bridge TitanX coins to Pulsechain is the demand equation. I would agree. We need in TitanX, we have fallen asleep. No disrespect to anyone who's not out promoting TitanX, but promotion of TitanX is not about 1,000 tweets a day. That's not sustainable. What is sustainable is consistent communication and consistent education to the masses of newcomers that are coming. So it's a shout out to my TitanX friends to get out here, get out of the slumber. And it's not just about tweets on X. It is about YouTube. It is about word of mouth marketing. And it's not about private groups. Private groups are not trusted in decentralized finance. I know they exist. Private groups are one thing, but private paid groups are not trusted in decentralized finance. Trust me that. Okay, let me read it now. I do digress. So the demand equation, if there's massive Pulsechain bull market, they can buy TitanX coins directly on Pulsechain. Bingo. And we need deep liquidity pools for that. And this is a call out to TitanX, like, let's wake up. Let's bridge 10, 15% of bags. We don't have to lose those bags. There's no need to sell. It's about getting exposure with, and if someone doesn't know what are hot Pulsechain assets to pair with, we have a very collaborative group in the Eros crew to be able to share information with. It's all about education and uplift, right? So what Peter is saying is Richard Hart and Maria, meaning the Atropa dev, are taking PDI to the ETH side too. Absolutely. They're doing the same thing that we're doing. We are Ethereum-based ecosystem that's migrating value, bridging value over to get exposure to a new market, right? On Pulsechain, people are interested in Eros. On Pulsechain, people are interested in DragonX. Anything among TitanX that they hear about and they get educated about, they're interested because it doesn't exist. Like this hyper deflationary asset. The only hyper deflationary assets that I see on Pulsechain is PTGC. Allow Pulsechain guys to buy Helios directly, of course. Also DragonX, right? Yeah, maybe Tauros. I think the Tauros dev is building a Tauros geared specifically to Pulsechain, but I'm sure if there's got to be a desire to do this. Without the desire to migrate value, it doesn't happen, right? Pulse guys know token economics and liquidity webs. They will like our coins and plan. I agree. Pulsechain people understand token economics. They understand deflationary token economics. They also understand diamond hand holder groups. And this is something that we in TitanX have got to get with. We have got to get with this idea that the way that we have number go up charts is to have diamond hand holders at the top. Okay? That we have more buyers than sellers. For too long, we've gotten into the habit. The same PTSD that Pulsechain people have, TitanX people have. A lot of altcoin holders have this PTSD of like, oh no, more sellers. Well, that's why these devs and builders shake people out, because they know that there are lettuce hands. They know that there are meme coin people that just want a 2x or a 3x and then out. No, that's not how we roll. We're going for 10x. We're going for 20. We're going for 50. We're going for 100x. And that means getting in early to projects like Eros, to getting in early for projects like Smoke, getting in early for projects like Flare, getting in early for projects like Scale, getting in early for projects like, come on, What else? There are all these projects that we need to start talking about and educating about, right? And that's how we access turtle magic. Whatever that means. All right. Uh, anything else? Anyone else want a dialogue? Yeah, Tauros on Pulsechain would be really interesting. I think the Tauros dev cryptographics is going to launch Unity on Pulsechain, right? And if it attracts the kind of attention that it's attracted, the kind of early launch excitement that has happened on Ethereum and, you know, with TitanX, people putting Ethereum and mostly TitanX into Tauros. If Tauros on Pulsechain can attract that kind of attention, that's huge, right? And shout out to Cryptographics. He has been consistent and dogged in designing and building. And shout out to the Switch Builder team that built it. It's beautiful, right? The Tauros design is beautiful. I'm still trying to understand it. I'm still trying to decipher the ROIs. I'm still trying to understand how to play it. But that's okay, because a lot of people are in, and that's great. It's great for the ecosystem. It's great for the confidence. It's great for the people that are making Tauros great, right? And I don't know what Tauros on Pulsechain would look like, but I think it's an interesting possibility. I think about the assets that I hold: TitanX, Lotus, Eden. I mean, I tried with Ascend. I hold Ascend, and it requires a community initiative because I don't want to bridge and make LP on my own, right? It's why I've joined LPs where there's some depth, right? So in my mind, it takes people who want to bridge and then to bring along friends and other holders. And if people don't know who the other holders are, then that's on who's ever doing the Telegram groups. Whoever holds the Telegram groups, this is what I've learned. I wasn't even on Telegram 3 months ago. I just went there because I heard that my name was getting trashed. So I showed up to to defend my name and my reputation. The only reason I was there was to hang out in Ouroboros and to hang out with Shadowy and to ask questions and to get educated, right? But now that I see how Telegram works for a lot of crypto projects, it serves as the place where people organize. It shares as the place where people communicate. It shares as the place where they can build decentralized strategies. So in all these different asset Telegram groups, like the Ascend group, I'd say, do we want to get leverage on leverage on leverage? Do we want new buyers for Ascend? Do we want new buyers for Scale? Do we want new buyers? If not, don't do it. If we have plenty of new buyers in TitanX, ignore this message. Yeah, bridge is one button if we use the Pulsechain bridge. And LP can be made with $5 on each side. Yes, that's true. It's cheap. It's 1 penny worth of Pulse, PLS, to make an LP pair on Pulsechain. It's easy and cheap to bridge, make LP, but I have to want to. You can do it as a trial run. You don't have to commit all of my bags. And this is way more fun and way more productive if we do it collectively. if we make this a shared pursuit, if we make this about the speculation and the fun of having cap supply deflationary assets paired with strength on Pulsechain, right? Now's the time. There's no more sleeping. It's time to wake up, people. The bull run is here. The altcoin cycle is here, right? Just because Ethereum hasn't hit all-time high, just because there isn't technical confirmation, just because Pulsechain is still dumping doesn't mean that we can't front run the bull run and that we can't get exposure to the number one speculative narrative in DeFi. This DeFi summer is going to be hot. We're halfway into July. The next 6 weeks, August is going to be hot. I believe September is going to be hot. I believe even October is going to be hot. Right? It's just what I believe, and it's why I'm out educating and encouraging TitanX people to begin to educate and onboard newcomers into the value proposition. Each token, each community needs at least one champion. Who am I? I'm the Eros guy, willing to put my reputation out here and willing to say, hey, TitanX Bridge, hey, who else is out here? Who's out there? Who has the courage, open heart, courage, right? Of convictions, right? Who's out here willing to promote the value proposition of TitanX? Who's out here doing it? Who's out here promoting the value proposition of one build on TitanX asset? Who's willing to put a face and a reputation attached to it? Where are you all? Okay, come on stream. Let's dialogue. Who's got the assets? Who's got the coins? Who's got the will? Who's got the courage? Let's fucking go. Right? It's time. Why? Because there are newcomers. They are coming. They're calling me privately. Do a Braveheart speech. I don't even know what Braveheart is, but I remember the movie. It was a great, it was a great movie, but I mean, that was the Scottish warriors, right? What was the message of the Braveheart speech? Give me a Braveheart speech and I'll give it. Like I was only going to do 20 minutes, but I'm up to 38 minutes. Like, give me some guidance, man. I'm no actor. I can act, but I need guidance. What's the most important thing that was in the Braveheart speech? Okay, I'll just make it up. So fight for freedom, fight for our bags. Yeah, man. That's it. I'm willing to fight for my freedom, literally and metaphorically. I've always done that ever since I was a young man. Been fighting for freedom and willing to exert responsibility, because freedom without responsibility is weak. Okay. So yeah, but I'm willing to fight for freedom. And that right now means self-custody on Pulsechain. I don't see any other blockchain that is as messy and as free as Pulsechain. And sometimes freedom comes with messiness. This other thing of being willing to fight for my bags, I am. And I only got there when I realized that no one was going to do it for me. I got really pissed off this past winter when, like, I went into Shogun and then the dev just disappeared. Now it's 6 months, and I was pissed at first. I was like, what the fuck, man? I put a lot of TitanX into X28 and then nothing, silence for 6 months on a protocol. And if one is an outsider, you could think like it's dead, but I'm sure it's not. And so what I decided, that means me. I decided it. I'm going to fight for my bags. I'm going to fight for, and fighting isn't literal, it's metaphorical. It's working for my bags. It's working for other people's bags. It's working for TitanX bags. It's working for Pulsechain bags. It's educating newcomers. Last week, I would say I had 20 people coming to me, 20 people asking me about what to invest in DeFi. If I've got 20 people, how many other people are waiting, right? Looking for guidance. And I'm like, where are all of the TitanX promoters? Let's go. And X is great, but X is an echo chamber. We need to get outside of the X echo chamber. YouTube is what it is, but it's a place where people are looking, right? But more than anything, it's about word of mouth marketing, right? Because that's how small communities grow. Let me see, I've got another thing. Did you see that interesting data? USDT and USDC can be blacklisted, yes, but not if it's in a mixed contract like a bridge. So USDC can be migrated to Pulsechain and your PH, it cannot be blocked. Well, there is debate about that, right? The basic idea is that if bridged USDC and USDC, the hypothesis is, and this requires that those centralized entities don't attack the bridge and don't attack the bridge assets. And there are people on both sides of this, but I do believe that USDT and USDC is less blacklistable on Pulsechain, and that's good. But I also think that there are some native assets. There are going to be some native stable coins on Pulsechain that will end up dominating. Now, I do use USDC on Pulsechain, and I use it just because I don't personally use USDT. I don't know, I'm allergic to it, but I do use USDC. Partially because I understand more about it than I do about USDT. And it's not like I'm against anything, but yes, USDT and USDC clearly can blacklist wallets and functions, right? And when it gets bridged over, assuming that the bridge wallet is not attacked by those central entities, which would require like a messing with their whole economic system on Ethereum and on, yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think that that's the PDI narrative. So let's see if PDI is going to peg. Let's see if there is going to be a decentralized, permissionless, censorship resistance like asset, on Pulsechain, and that's PDI, right? And a shout out to the PDI crew. PDI crew has been hated on, but is smart and resilient and conspiratorial, right? And like the PDI narrative, I think has potential to become reality. I didn't really think so until recently, but I do think so now. I think so now because I see that the pieces are in place. The biggest question in my mind is, where was the backing going to come from? And so these $1 billion of old Bitcoin movements, if it is Richard Hart and if there's going to be movement towards Pulsechain of those assets, I think this is doable. If that's not Richard Hart, and just some random wealthy loon moving at this point in time, who the hell knows? I don't really know. But between the Atropa ecosystem and now Liberty Swap Finance and the Aave V3 fork, which is called Better Bank, if I also start to see that a compound a compound fork on Pulsechain, then that might be the last piece of the puzzle, for me at least, to say, holy cow, we've got a Pulsechain based MakerDAO in the form of Atropa, right? Yeah, so shout out to PDI. I do think that I'm getting a note here. I do think that a PDI TitanX LP pool would be hot. I would join that. I would join TitanX and PDI LP, right? But I'd have to see that PDI crew was interested and that PDI crew understood the value of pairing with TitanX. And also, I'd have to see that TitanX holders would see the value of a TitanX PDI LP. Like, let's talk about it. Why would it be legendary? What is the critical value to TitanX holders and the TitanX ecosystem of pairing with PDI? Someone tell me. What would be the value to PDI people of pairing with TitanX? Why do that? Right? I don't know, man. I'm a wood carver. I'm a wood carver. I'm also a partnership builder and a team builder and a coalition builder. Let's see. The PDI Army would perhaps take notice of a TitanX LP if it's huge and also promotional. Yeah, I agree. So that's true. So, okay, so this is then a call out to my TitanX friends and enemies. Anybody consider me an enemy? It doesn't matter. It's all good, right? I have no enemies. There are people, like, I'm willing to speak truth to power in very assertive and non-negotiable ways because I understand that power, especially especially decentralized power, needs to be held to account. Okay? So the PDI Army would perhaps take notice, yes, of a TitanX LP if we promoted it. I suspect, yeah. So we should probably just make that happen, TitanX people. Actually, a Helios, it would be great because the Helios is built on TitanX. I like Helios for a lot of reasons. And so I could imagine a Helios PDI pair too. And we need the foundation. We need the foundational strength because Helios is built on TitanX. So we need, TitanX and PDI, and then Helios and PDI, right? We got Eros and PDI. I own that pool, right? I don't own all, but it's a small pool, but it's there, and it's doing great for me, right? Because I'm sitting in the Eros PDI pool, and I'm making passive income, and I'm seeing the volatility, and I know that the volatility is happening throughout the Eros web, and so it's really great for all of us PDI holders, no, Eros holders, stakers, and lockers. It's great because I'm holding my Eros with PDI, and I'm okay like watching it turn into PDI and watching my PDI turn into Eros. I'm okay with that because I know I'm making fees and Eros is buying and burning, right? So TitanX, let's start promoting what tokens. Like I hold smoke token. Like smoke is was originally created on base. It's a build on X28, or it's a build on Uranus token. Now it got transformed into a non-fee sharing, a non-tax token, and now it's on Ethereum and on Pulsechain. And I'm holding, shout out to Rich Landon, thanks to Rich Landon, I'm holding all of my smoke with equal amounts of, I think I own half of that pool, right? The Eros smoke pool. Now, why is that good for me? It's good for me because I'm holding smoke, which is cap supply, deflationary, very scarce, and diamond hand holder group. Especially, I don't know about I mean, it's diamond hand probably on base because it's a fee sharing token. But now that it doesn't have a fee attached to it, it's diamond hand because that's the culture that Rich Landon is working with. That's the culture that we built into the Eros web. That's the culture of all of us that are bridging assets over TitanX assets. All of us are diamond hand holders. It's not that we will never sell, but we're holders. We're stakers. We're lockers. We're LP web builders. We're holders, right? And so smoke with cap supply and no sellers paired with Eros, which is cap supply deflationary fee sharing, no sellers is going to do hot, especially if we promote it, especially. Promotions is about education. Like shilling doesn't work. It used to, but retail has gotten smarter, right? Retail is looking for an edge right now. And the edge is diamond hand holder groups in leverage, unleverage, unleverage. A game for the teams. Okay. Let's see. This is a game for the teams. Each TitanX build on TitanX coin holder list has the Pulsechain bridge as a top 5 holder. Trading bots notice this, and we can boast how much we are giving demand. Okay. So this idea, okay, is another idea for build on TitanX assets. Build on TitanX asset holders like me have got to take over promotions. We have to. We have to be the ones to get out fighting for our bags. There are many builders that are deep in building and deving that are not promoting now. And I think it's because either they're gun shy and they're in PTSD, or they're just distracted by deving. But now's the time to be educating. Now's the time to be creating a demand equation for our TitanX assets. It's not enough to wait for Jake. It's not enough to wait for Eric, who's really focused on a private group. It's definitely not enough to wait for those two guys, right? They have demonstrated that It's up to us to promote our bags. Okay. And one of the ideas that we're talking about is to use this bridging process. We can track the bridge traffic. We can see who in Build on TitanX assets are actually taking action, fighting for our bags, who's actually doing something, who's actually promoting, not just a tweet here and there, every day, fighting for bags, generating buzz, encouraging everybody, uplifting all these assets just because I don't. Oh, Morph. Morpheus is another token that has blue chip potential, right? It's got blue chip potential, and it's time to start building Morpheus pools assertively, aggressively on Pulsechain. Why? Because Morph and Morpheus is a killer meme, and it has switch attached to it. We don't know the exact utility, but I can read the tea leaves, right? Switch fees, when they get turned on, I believe are going to start buying and burning Morph, right? So the game is, let's get into action. The game is, let's uplift each other. The game is, anyone that's not happy with the utility of a Build on TitanX token, bridge it. Put it into the speculative game. Pair it with strength. Get access to the promotions that's coming. And by the way, do not disrespect the Eros plan. It's intended as a unifier. It's intended to uplift Build on TitanX tokens that need uplifting. It's intended to give us utility and access to a blue chip in the making on Pulsechain, right? Eros is a PTGC clone. It's really good. The tech is good. The tech is good. And by the way, we are going to be making Eros X. Just like Smoke, OG Smoke turned into Smoke with no fee, Eros is going to turn into a no fee token too. And then watch what happens with it, right? All right. All right, teams. We need indigenous leaders to get out here and start educating and start promoting, right? This is what we need every day. I'm doing this because I saw a vacuum to fill, okay? And I want other people to do it too. I want people to dialogue. I want people to educate. I want people to uplift. And I want us to get exposure to Pulsechain because it is the freedom chain. Challenge me, debate me. I'd love to hear it. Why is it not? A lot of people, even my friends, are saying, hey, bro, it's a mess. It's chaotic. It's dumping. I'm like, exactly. And so has the TitanX ecosystem. And when we merge the TitanX ecosystem, right, which is cap supply, deflationary, when we merge that with speculative zeal and fee sharing, now we've got something to sell. All right. This is under an hour. I promised Peter I would do 20 minutes. And you see, Peter, this is a problem. Here you are chatting me up and getting me talking and getting me all stirred up, and you give me all this stuff. All right, I need to take a break, and then I'm going to come back and do 20 minutes on, yeah, on a few of the TitanX assets that I feel really need new life, need new buyers. And it doesn't take more money. We don't need more money. All we need to do is to bridge and to pair with strength and be part of the speculative game and the fee sharing that's going on Pulsechain. All right. Peace out, y'all. I got to go do different work. I got to carve. I got to go talk. I got to go do my thing. Peace.